Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this March 5th version of AM Live on EOA. Your connection to Eastern Oregon, we're glad that you are here with us. If you want to find our content, go to EOA.network. Takes you to a link tree where you can find where all of our stuff is released, our Facebook page and YouTube channel and so on and so forth. So be sure and check that out. Here in just a little bit, we are going to have Donna Beverage, the past Union County Commissioner who's decided to throw her hat in the ring again recently, and she's going to be with us to talk to us about her recent decision. So, how are you, man?
Good. It's first Friday.
Yeah.
The week just flew by already.
I know it.
It's already almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah, just crummy weather, Meh.
Yeah. No, I know. I tell you, the farmers and firefighters they're like, oh man, thank God for the rain.
Yeah, it's better than snow.
Yeah.
It's way better than snow.
Yeah. So, yep. Well, anything new or exciting going on?
No.
Yeah.
Same old stuff.
Yeah. We had a city council meeting. Well,
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, that was pretty riveting.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, always. So exciting.
Yeah. And I have some video I need to post of Jason Hayes was installed last night.
That was the best part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you go to that? No.
No, I watched it online.
No, he wasn't installed online.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
I heard, they talked about
They
it.
did talk about it, but
Yeah.
so right beforehand they had a swearing in, and the room was packed, and I have some video of that. I'll post. It was.
Yeah, I knew that was happening.
Yeah, it was cool and touching, and so yeah.
No, I didn't get tuned in till probably they were probably talking probably right when they got through that first part and Bennett's mom talked.
Yeah.
I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that is kind of interesting is, Union County Safe Coalition has been operating for years.
I watched all that. I watched Corinne talk.
Yeah, and they they're in the opioid settlements. Different municipalities were given money, and the money that was given to LeGrand has kind of been sitting in a savings account, essentially. And so the Union County Safe Coalition asked for those funds to help do what it is that they're doing, and that's cool. There's a lot of very reputable people that are involved.
Yeah, I don't even think that it should have been questioned.
Yeah.
It's like, you aren't doing anything else with it.
Yeah.
They're the only group in the county that's doing anything about opiates.
Yeah.
Why would we even question that?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. David Glave has to
No,
make sure that everything's line.
No, I totally think it's appropriate.
100%.
Yeah. So
there's no question.
But I think the accountability is appropriate too. So
yeah.
So, but no, you're right. It's kind of a no-brainer.
It's very much a no-brainer. Yeah.
So, well, hey, you want to do sports?
Let's do it.
Yep.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit. Get ready for Turtle Power. Your favorite lean, mean, green ninja team is out of the sewers and into Magic the Gathering. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles flips into Magic cards and use Turtle Power and Toughness to protect the streets from Shredder. Available now at Hobby Habit in LeGrand, just for the fun of it. LHS Boys Basketball hosts Marshfield tomorrow night at 5 p.m. at the high school gym in the first round of the OSAA 4A state playoffs. So remember, that's a playoff game, so the prices are a little bit different. It's weird. While the girls team will travel to Turner to take on Cascade on Saturday at 2. And then for the small schools, they're in the 1A state championship tournament right now in Baker. Embler takes on Powers at 1:30 this afternoon in Baker. And then that's girls. And then the girls from Union will take on North Clackamas Christian at 8:15 tonight. man, these state tournaments, they have late games. And then the Union boys, who are number 1 in the state, will take on North Clackamas tomorrow at 1:30 in the semis. So good luck to all the teams in the Valley that are playing for state championship. Kind of cool. EOU softball versus Bushnell has been moved to Saturday at noon and 2 and Sunday at 11 and 1 up at Peggy Anderson Memorial Field due to, what do you think that's due to, BC?
Rain?
Yeah, the field being wet, of course. These games early in the year oftentimes end up in Pendleton, and that's still possible. The polls came out yesterday, and the ladies are ranked the highest in school history. They came in at number 2 in the nation after spoiling number 1 Southern Oregon University's new stadium opener last weekend, taking 2 out of 3 conference games versus the Raiders. There's 3 CCC teams in the top 5 in the nation as OIT comes in at the number 4 spot. EOU baseball's in Salem over the weekend to take on Corbin at Volcano Stadium. EOU men's wrestling is in Wichita, Kansas from today through Saturday for the NAIA National Tournament, while the women's nationals are 1 week from today in the same spot, Wichita, Kansas. EOU track and field is in Gainesville, Florida, starting today for the NAIA National Indoor Championships. Both the men's and women's teams are the top-ranked teams in the Western region, and they look to go. And, I think Justin Kravenhoff has a really good chance to win the multis, and it should be a really good meet for EOU. Congratulations to Coach Weisenfluh and Coach Kemp from EOU men's and women's basketball for earning the CCC Coach of the Year honors. The women are into the national tournament, and we'll know this afternoon what their seeding will look like for that. While the men the men are going to get in. They have to get in at large tonight, but they will. The seeding show is this afternoon. I think it's at 5 o'clock. The men are relying on an at large, but they'll definitely get in. I think we'll get 4 or 5 teams out of the CCC into the national tournament. So this will be Coach Kemp's second trip to the national tournament. So, congratulations to him. AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look outside. It's I don't know if it was rainy, but it's looking like it's raining. So it's cooled down a little bit and kind of drizzly. Let's look at that graphic, Bennett. So 45 today, 32 tonight, and what's the percentage? What's that say, 50, 80, 55? I can't remember it. I can't see that. Anyhow, looks like it might clear up a little bit and warm up a little bit over the weekend. But today we're going to get rain. Thank you, 55%. So,
65.
All right. I can't hear or see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can say that, not you, dude.
I can hear. I can't see, but I can hear.
All right. Well, hey, glad you guys are here with us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Donna Beverage. All right, we are back with Donna Beverage.
Hi there.
In the past, I've said Commissioner Donna
Yeah.
Beverage, and
Yeah.
so you don't have that title
No.
right now, and
Yeah.
so, but you've recently thrown your hat back in the ring.
Yeah. After a lot of prayer and thinking about it, and encouragement from a lot of people, I've decided that I still have something to offer to the county,
Yeah.
and I still care about the county, so I decided to throw my hat back in the ring.
Yeah. Well, and you and I have known each other for many years now, and certainly, have had a ton of conversations when you were commissioner.
Yeah.
And I saw that, I mean, I've sat on committees with you,
Yep.
and
Sure have.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so no, that's awesome. Well, but let's talk about what have you been doing
Since then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still care about the county, so I've continued on the Union County Chamber Board of Directors. And then I'm also the president of the Union Chamber. And we have a community center in Union, Catherine Creek Community Center. So I'm the president / treasurer of that. I know, I'm crazy. I just love our area. I love our county. And so, I haven't got paid for any of those things, but I volunteer only because I care so much.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I have not been idle.
Oh,
at all.
I knew that because we've intersected in
Yeah.
other places since then. Yeah.
We just had our Union County Chamber banquet
Yeah.
at EOU on Tuesday night, and it was awesome. And a lot of people there, and some great people won some awards, and so been busy.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about the initiative a little bit that Union County passed, but that was struck down.
Right.
And so, struck down, that's a little bit of an abrupt term, but the citizens, and I know it was passed, what'd you say, by 98%?
No, I think around
Excuse me,
68%.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
68%. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
then a few years ago, Union County, there was an initiative on the Union County ballot where commissioners could only serve two consecutive terms.
Right. That was back in 2016.
Yeah.
It was right before. It was the year I was running the first time.
Yeah.
And and then it passed.
Right.
And then at the end of my 8 years, that's why I chose not to run again.
Right.
Because I didn't, want to go against what the voters had voted for. Later the next year, it got overturned by a judge, and like I said, in the meantime, I just thought about it and prayed about it and felt like I still had something to offer, and so decided to go ahead after this break and run again.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, are still probably confused. How can a judge overturn, overturn that, and
Right.
how is it unconstitutional? Because that puzzled me.
Sure.
And and the answer is that it's against the Oregon Constitution, not against the United States Constitution.
Right.
And we've looked at it. Kyle and I have looked at that quite a bit. And essentially, the Oregon Constitution says the Constitution manages the commissioners that the counties have, including their terms.
Right.
And so
Right.
then, and so that's why that was struck down. So, which whether we like it or not, that's just
Right.
Yeah, but it was one of the things that was puzzling to me, and has been, and to a lot of people, is how can an initiative how can something end up on the ballot and then later be struck down?
Right. And that's, those are legal questions that I
Right.
have no answer
Right.
for sure. But like I said, at the time, I
Yeah.
wasn't going to,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about even trying to overturn it. I just knew that the voters had voted that in. But
Yeah.
since then, I prayed about it and thought about it, and, felt like I could still do a good job. So if, people want me to represent them again, I'm happy to go in and do that.
Yeah, and we will have. At some point, we're going to have all of the commissioners
Yeah, that's
individually come as a candidate and talk about, what their ideas are and what they're running for. Because right now, I think there are 4 different people that are running for 2 different seats. So
Yeah.
three, you and Matt and who is the other one that's running for?
Rosa Rice.
Yeah, running
position
for
2.
Yeah, and then Corey Miller running for the last position, the one that no incumbent is coming into.
Right.
Yeah, so eventually we'll have everybody come, and I'm sure that
And people have till Tuesday. There, you never know. There could be some more people signing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which is, if you're interested, I mean, right now Corey is running unopposed, and so, yeah. And in the case where there are 3 people that are running against a seat, I know
Right.
this because of my own experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was 9, wasn't there, when you were
Yeah,
running?
yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be there'll be a primary, and in that primary, then if nobody is over 50%, if there's no one that wins over 50% of the votes, then they take the 2 top vote getters
to the general.
to the general. Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, and so then I guess what I mean. A lot of people are wondering why that seat? Why did you choose that seat?
Sure. Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me that, and last time I was a commissioner, I was a liaison to natural resources and water and.
No, I'm sorry. So explain what liaison is, because people might not.
Okay, each commissioner, we split up what we're a liaison to. We do that at our January meeting, and
Okay.
it can change from year to year. A lot of times, what we feel fits us best.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that I was liaison to before, Jake Sievert took that position, and he's doing a really good job in those areas. And so I had to think about, the other 2 positions, and of course it can change because every January the 3 commissioners decide, what they're going to do. But position 2 had a lot of the things that I felt like I would be a good liaison to: public safety, public health. The golf course, which I was a liaison to the last time. And so that's the one I felt most comfortable running for. And that's why. And I'm not really running against my other opponents, just like I didn't in the other ones.
Right.
I'm running because I feel like I have something to offer.
Yeah.
And I want to work for all the people. So.
Is there anything, over the course of 8 years, when you are a liaison for something,
Right.
and let's take Matt, for instance. So Matt was public health as a part of that position, and
Yes.
so COVID, hit everybody in the face, but it hit
Right.
him particularly as among the commissioners, because
Right.
that was
A
one
big
of the,
thing,
a
yeah.
big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, are there any things like that? Do you kind of look forward to doing something different? You know what I mean? Is there anything there that's like, I spent a lot of time in that space, that liaison for that,
Well, even though each one of us are a liaison,
Right.
For major decisions, the 3 of us make those decisions
Right.
together. So, for example, I was a liaison to Cove, Union, and North Powder. That doesn't mean my other commissioners can't attend
Right.
meetings at those places. Commissioner Scarfo was a liaison to Island City and LeGrand. That doesn't mean that the other 2 commissioners didn't attend. And so when it came to public health and that kind of thing, and really final nitty-gritty decisions, the 3 of us would decide on that. But whoever's the liaison would bring their ideas or the conversations they had
Yeah.
with that area of the county.
Right.
And so the county's involved in a lot of those things that are important to our constituents. And so being a liaison is important because you're bringing back information to the 3 commissioners to make some of those final decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think even more from my standpoint, yes. And for those that don't understand, each of the commissioners attend those particular city council meetings just to
Right.
stay in touch.
Well, we couldn't physically go to each one for the fact a lot of them are the same nights.
Yeah,
and
right.
that kind of thing. And
Right.
also, I feel like if you had too much on your plate, you do nothing well.
Yeah.
And so that's why we try to split that up so that we can do what we are doing well,
Right.
and put the time in that's needed.
Right. But
Yeah.
you also divide, and for me, this is the more critical thing. You divide the parts that Union County manages, like Public Works and
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So right now,
planning.
Commissioner Commissioner Anders, he's a liaison to Public Works right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Public Works is gigantic.
It's huge. It includes the airport, and
Right.
yeah, it's huge.
Right. And so, then, pushing those, so those,
And can I say,
Yeah.
when I ran the first time,
Yeah.
Robin Church was, she was our clerk, and she told me, she said, just remember that you're not going to be an expert at everything, but when an issue comes up, make sure that you talk to the experts and get their opinions. And that was really the best advice I ever got.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, no matter what, you don't know what the issue is going to come up today, tomorrow, like COVID. There's just issues that come up daily, and that's why one of my promises will be, when an issue comes up, listen to all sides before I make a decision. And so, I don't have any ulterior motives
Right.
or big things that
Right.
I see changes, but as issues come up, I plan on looking into the whole situation and standing for my voters and my constituents before I, make any decisions.
yeah. So looking at all of those things, I mean, you have a tremendous advantage of having 8 years of experience and then running again. Is there anything that you have interest in that you didn't really have an opportunity to explore before, any of these particular areas?
No, because I
You
cared
were
about
in-
all,
you were-
I
yeah.
cared about all of them
Right,
before.
yeah, right, okay.
Like I said, I was a liaison to some, but I did care about all of them before.
Yeah.
So there's none that I care about more than I did before.
Right, and I mean, as I was running, I was trying to get my head around, and so then that is how would, as a commissioner, if I was interested in an area that I wasn't the liaison to, how would, help?
Right. So, for example, when I ran the first time, and I will do this again, if I, and just in case I become the liaison to CHD, I will have a meeting with CHD. I will talk to their board. I will see what their concerns are and what they're doing. I mean, we only give them about 3% of their budget nowadays, but at the same time, Union County is responsible for public health, and so. I will go and meet with them and talk to them and see what their concerns are. It's another case of not trying to be the expert for them, but letting
Right.
them tell me what their issues are
Yeah.
and how I can help them.
Yeah. Well, cool. So now talk to me about, I mean, before we were on the air, you talked about how that you've had some people come to you and yeah.
Well, I thought it was jokingly,
Right,
actually,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Just as soon as it got overturned, the year after I was a commissioner, I just had people say, Donna, are you going to run again? Are you going to run again? And, I just thought they were kind of joking. And then, but as time's gone by, I've had, several people just say, we would love to see you run again. We thought you did a good job last time.
Yeah.
So.
And let's go back to not specifically the overturning of this initiative, but just generally. I'm a little puzzled, and we all are, as far as how something can land on the ballot and not be fully vetted in some manner. And I mean, and the example that we talked about was Measure 110, which was ended up on the ballot, state, and was passed,
Right.
but wasn't fully explored. We didn't really, yeah.
Well, sometimes the language that is put on the ballot
Yeah.
is tricky. And so if you don't read it correctly, you think you're kind of voting one way,
Yeah.
but it actually, the unintended consequences are different.
Right.
And so like with 110, it felt like you were asking for more help, for those that were, in addiction and that kind of thing. It felt like you were helping, but in the long run, it took funding away from some of those areas that, so sometimes it's that language, just it's twisted a little bit to where you think you're voting one way, but you're actually voting a different way.
Well, and I think that also people get together, and it's like we would get together and say, there should be an initiative to allow this or to do this. I mean,
Right.
and I mean, the legalization of marijuana in the state of Oregon is a perfect example of it was passed, but the state had no idea how to manage it. They had no
Right.
money to manage it. They had,
Exactly.
and so then the initiative comes, and then there's this gigantic wave of chaos
Right.
sometimes. So,
Right.
so yeah, sometimes I think that the language and these initiatives, especially the statewide initiatives, they come because there are outside organizations that are lobbying to get those initiatives on.
Right. Like right now, there's
each
an
state.
initiative petition 28,
Yeah.
which is, if you go hunting or you go fishing or, you AI a cow, that's called animal abuse.
Yeah.
And so they're wanting to ban all that, and I'm totally against that.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful.
Right.
And read the fine print before you vote for something or sign something.
Well, and the bottom line
And I
is,
feel like as a commissioner, that's
Yeah.
our job, is
Yeah.
to look at the fine print.
yeah.
And then share that with people, our concerns and that kind of thing.
Well, but sometimes there is no fine print. It's just
That's true.
it's just a global.
Yeah.
It's just a basic idea that's flopped out there and voted, and then
Right, the
and-
fine print comes later.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure that part of that was 110 is like there.
Yeah.
It was like, well, who doesn't want to be compassionate and help people?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and so then that causes a lot of chaos.
That's
So,
correct. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're running, and you absolutely do have, people respect you, and that's why they have, kept you in their mind. So
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I've lived here since I was born. I love the county. I volunteered way before I was a commissioner the first time. I still volunteer. I have a lot of energy. I feel like I have compassion.
Yeah.
And like I said, I take advice. I just appreciated that, advice I got of, not just going in assuming that I know what the right thing is, but to try to learn both sides and, not waste people's tax money, because I'm a taxpayer.
Right.
My husband and I have a ranch. We run our own business, so I understand that people want to vote somebody in that's not going to waste their taxes, and also will put the time in to learn what those issues are.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Donna, thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you taking the time. We'll have you back. We'll have all
Okay.
of the candidates back. Yeah, and I'm sure that at some point we'll have a candidate forum
kind
like
of a
we've done in
forum,
the past. Yeah,
Okay.
and you'll have an opportunity to, which would be a little interesting. I've managed those forums, and I will the one that we
You've
do.
been in one.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
Right.
And so, having a past commissioner run, well, it's like having an incumbent run. It's like, what question can you possibly ask them that they
Because
haven't
I ran
been-
against an incumbent the
Yeah,
first time, and I
yeah.
was like, you just,
Yeah.
do the best you can and study up the best you can and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So.
Well, and the thing that I've learned, more and more the deeper I get and have knowledge about, the city of LeGrand government and also the county,
Mm-hmm.
is that, there's an assumption that you have power that you just simply do not have.
No.
And so then
And that's not a reason to run.
No.
To have power.
No, but the point is people think that you can make changes that
Oh,
you
right.
simply do not have the power to
Exactly,
run.
yeah.
And so then everything is negotiated, or everything at the end of the day, there's a tremendous amount that's just driven by funds. By
Right.
you have the money to make it
Right,
happen.
and are those funds specific to that project or whatever? Because sometimes you can't switch a fund from one
Right.
place to another. It has to be,
Right.
it was given to you specific for one thing, and you
Yeah.
have to figure out how to spend it wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then the public, rightly so, they'll, roads. LeGrand right now is in the middle of a big discussion about roads and
Yeah.
and having a gas tax to help, potential gas tax on the ballot to help pay for that. And because they have no idea that spending money on roads is an endless, you could spend the entire county budget
Right.
on county
And still have
roads.
more roads to fix.
Yes, yes.
Well, that's where it's important to talk to the people and answer the questions the best you can.
Yeah.
So my phone number is on, my Facebook page. People
Yeah.
can call me. I'll meet with them.
Yeah.
I want to answer questions the best I can.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. All right. Well, thanks a bunch.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. Yep. All right, man. Want to get us out
Do
of here?
it.
Yep.
On this day, March 5th, 1836, Samuel Colt patents the very first pistol, a 36 caliber Texas model in Patterson, New Jersey. 1955, Elvis Presley makes his first TV appearance on a local video broadcast of the popular radio program Louisiana Hayride. 1960, the iconic photograph of Che Guevara at the memorial service in Havana is taken by Alberto Corda, and it's possibly the most reproduced photo in history. 2019, Bugatti announces the most expensive new car ever made. $19 million for one car, and they only made one of them ever. 2019, Kylie Jenner is the world's youngest ever billionaire at 21, according to Forbes. 2025, manufacture of bone tools by ancient humans is pushed back 1 million years by the discovery of a 1.5 million year old cache of bone tools in Tanzania. On this day, the number one song in America in 1986 is Kyrie by Mr. Mister, and the quote of the day comes from Epictetus. Epictetus?
I have no idea.
Epictetus. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. One more time. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants.
That's good. For a minimalist, that's a perfect way of putting
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's good.
Hey,
I
thank
think
you,
that's
Donna.
a good way of
Thank
living
you.
for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah. All righty. Hey, thanks, you guys. We'll see you soon.